Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the channel. Today we are off to Spa for the last of the GR1 grinds. The last GR1 grind is the 962C88 with a new livery. We're doing the World Touring Car 800 as you all know. It's worth 1.5 million credits with a clean race bonus and a target of 800 pp. Settings today will be racing hard tyres. We've come in just under the target at 799.89. We could have run a turbo, but we're not going to. That would have put us in the 950 brake horsepower region. But because we want to keep the downforce to running in the rain, we're going to chop the turbo off. We're going to increase the front downforce, which gives us more rotational G's as we go around the corner. So effectively, a faster cornering speed, even though we're dropping 300 brake horsepower. So fully customizable suspension is as default, nothing changed. Fully customizable rear diff with the Magic 555. Downforce 729, as we say, tuning to that 800 pp, 1600 downforce, everything on the downforce. ECU fully customizable at 100%, no power restriction. Manual transmission at 390, probably feels a bit long, but we'll see where that goes. Brake balance controller, which we know we're going to put to -5. We could have had the medium turbo, but as you can see here, 987 brake horsepower, but puts us 43 over target, so we won't be doing that. And there is nothing else you can add to this vehicle. Put a steering angle kit, and I suppose if you really wanted to, but we're not going to today. Let's get to the track. So as the practice laps get underway, we arrive at the track. It's the Spa 24-hour layout. We're doing 60 minutes of the 24-hour race. It's a full day-night time cycle with added weather bonus. We'll see what it delivers. Settings. Assists will be traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off. But we're going to put the counter steer on because we're grinding. Controller settings. Controller steering sensitivity 10. Force feedback max torque 3. Force feedback sensitivity 10. So as we say, this is going to be the last GR1 race. Last GR1 car. And then we're going to move on to GR2. It's going to try and bring those cars through into the race. They have all been Le Mans cars in the past, one would suggest. But there is a choice of car. I don't think we can do it here, we can't. But there is a choice of car called the Le Mans car, and you'll find they're all associated with that. So anyway, let's get on with this one. Nothing should be distracted from the 962. You'll normally see this one in a couple of license tests. It's an absolutely phenomenal car. Let's see what it can bring to this race. So here we go. A stunning livery created by JB, focusing on the Make-A-Wish process that we're about to start with the Le Mans race, which is coming up next. We're going back to Le Mans to do some grinding with exactly the same car as we got here. She's got a bit of oomph down the straight, hasn't she? Fuel map 1. For those of you that don't know what's going on with the Le Mans, we are going to attempt to complete the Le Mans 24 hours as a sponsored event on the weekend of Le Mans, the full 24 hours of the race. And there's an invite out there to anybody else who wants to take part. If you can form a team of 3 drivers that can all meet at the same venue, connect to the internet for 24 hours and race away and do exactly as we're going to do, that would mean, well, ultimately, because GT7 does not have a team function, you have to be in the same venue to be able to race the same car. And we can't do it with added AI, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Let's see what the brake balance is at. The brake balance is where it needs to be. We're in 15th place on lap 1. Miss McEwen just closing the inside line. We get down into first gear next to the Audi V10. Mr. Grady just gets us off the corner, but we get him back. Follow Mr. Mendoza. We can't. Mr. Ordonez puts it sideways. Got around about 10.5 laps left to fuel. Down the outside. Mr. Rubelar. He didn't have a very good last race. He finished 3 laps down in 20th position. What was our first lap? We didn't get this, we did a 2:01.290. We're a little bit slower this lap, it feels. Even though it will be a longer time, it's a different start point, isn't it? We started going down the hill. That first lap was cut short because the finish point of the lap was where the traditional race start finishes for Formula 1. A 2:15. Now we're chasing more. Mr. Portilla, we got up to 5th place. We took 10 places in that last lap. She's a bit wild and woolly through there. Whoa, I didn't want to hold off. Mr. Beauvoir, Mr. Portilla. We get a half a second penalty for that. Track limits exceeding. Mr. Portilla tried to rag us around the outside. The longer gears mean that we definitely have to take first gear through some of these slower corners. To lift the throttle to stop this car pushing sometimes. It'll turn if you come off the throttle. It tends to, what's it called, oversteer. As you come through a corner, the front end wants to go straight on. Because you've got a massive pair of wheels on the back of this thing and it's got so much grip, it's pushing so hard. Half a second penalty. Let's hope that doesn't really ruin our fastest lap attempt. Mr. Hizal in 2nd place as we ran extremely wide there. Have to keep my foot onto the corner, it seems. Just a 2:13, that's a quick lap. Gave Mr. Hazal a bit of a tap there. We picked up a bit of damage on the nose. Bury this throttle as deep as we can, brake on the 100. Chase Mr. Fraga down. He seems to be pushing on quite well today. Yeah, so if you want to join us at Le Mans, it's easy to get in touch with me. If you're on my friends list, just drop me a message. If not, there's an email address listed down below. Just get in touch that way. You can also leave a comment if you want to get a team together and join us. The whole idea is that over the 24 hours, I will be either racing or commentating. So the two members of my team that are hopefully going to come join me at my house, one is going to start the race, one's going to finish the race, and I'll commentate both the start and the finish, and I will take on some long stints during the 24 hours. But whilst I'm not racing, I'll be fully commentating and also entertaining some interviews with other racers. So what I'd like from each of the teams is a little bit of a bio, so I have something to talk about whilst not having an interview, but also to give some colour to the commentary. I mean, I could guess what people do and make things up, but that wouldn't be appropriate, would it? So ideally, if I could know a little bit about each of you in the team. Now I know some people are thinking, holy hell, 24 hours, 3 people, that's a lot. That means we'd each have to drive for 8 hours in 24 and we'd have to stay awake all night. Yeah, that's what it means. Technically, there's no limit to the amount of people because I can't manage that. There's no particular prizes. It's all about giving something to make a wish. I'll see what I can dig up in the terms of giveaways and prizes as we go through the 24 hours. So, I do have stuff and I will have stuff like, for example, fastest lap of the race, whoever that goes to, or fastest lap in the hour. Don't know how I'll manage that. That'll be quite tricky to watch everybody, see who gets the fastest lap in that hour. That could be quite a challenge, but they're the kind of things I'd like to do. To raise money for Make-A-Wish, there will be a little, what are they called? Little square thing that goes in the corner of the screen. You can tag it with your phone and it'll allow you to make, it's like a barcode but a square thing. I can't remember, it's gone out of my head. But you'll be able to make a donation there to Make-A-Wish. In addition, I will be giving away everything I earn from the stream, and in the month of June, anything that the channel receives, other than membership of course, anything that it receives in the way of usual viewership, where I can manage and understand what came through, that will be given to Make-A-Wish as well on my behalf from the channel. That's from me. And we'd like to raise a little bit of money to support a member of ours who really does support Make-A-Wish in so many ways. So if we can support his fundraising by doing a little bit, that's what I'd like to do. And I invite you to join me. So the next series of 20 or so races that we do, we'll be publishing this content with a skin and with a little bit of chat every race. So let's get back into the race and understand where we're going and what we're doing. We're getting penalties, that's what we are doing. It's greying up a little bit, so let's bring the rain map in. We've got a second. There's definitely rain coming from the top right. And it's not dark yet, so we have a little bit of shenanigans on its way. Doesn't look like particularly heavy rain at this time. So we're going to stick with the racing hards. Haven't managed to get that 212 yet, have we? Let's see if we can carry some higher gears through corners. See if we can carry a bit of speed. We're down to first gear. I mean, that was ridiculous. It's got to be a second stroke third gear corner, definitely. Excuse me. Changing to first gear seems to pull the nose in quite well. Here we go, a little 1 second penalty just to hold us back. We are some 13 seconds in the lead now. So, nothing to sniffle at. Mr. Fraga is being pursued by Mr. Portilla. As we shoot wide there. A little bit of squirt of the throttle pushed us off the corner, so definitely a lift and coast car. Mr. Portilla goes to the pits, what seems relatively early. This rain is curling round us, it doesn't seem to want to affect us. Of what looked like night time's coming in. Track lights have come on around the track, our headlights are on. See the flashing lights from cameras now. "19 seconds in the lead, and that rain still seems to be curling around us. No real threat. Bit of a long range run into there. There's the 12.2, that's where it needs to be. If we can get one more in before any rain starts. It's still curling round us. Let's have a look at the in-car. Rain radar's on the right hand side now. Mr. Fraga goes to the pits. Now the rain is just starting. We get a penalty for a transition over the lines back there. There you have it. That's what can happen. We hit every single one of those bollards. We didn't mean to, did we? Let's give up this little half second as we just ease our way into the rain. Does look like there's some big stuff coming, but ultimately we're still in the light rain. I can't actually see anything falling. There's nothing on the rain indicator to tell us that there is anything happening. Go back to the external view. Bumper cam, should I say. We were 5 seconds down that lap. I'm guessing that's just because of the slight traction loss because of the moist conditions. Oh my. Now the rain's falling, we can see it. That affected the braking into there, didn't it? A little bit of rain showing on the stint meter now on the left hand side. The rain depth gauge. Surface water depth indicator. And the end of the rain is in sight now. So this looks like a full run through to the end of our 9 laps of fuel. Don't think there's going to be any drama with the rain. I think we can stay where we are. And the 458 is in last place. Mr. Bishop. .8 laps remaining. We're going to be nowhere near the 30, so it's genuinely going to be a 2-stop race, I think. As we come up Eau Rouge, felt like we're going up a set of steps the way we used that curb. Fourth gear, no fifth. Still, the race tyre is the primary tyre at this time. It's just at this point that the intermediate tyre is almost the one to use, and it looks like they're all going in for them. They're following the guidance, it seems. We're not, because we know unless there's been a distinct change in the weather since I looked last time. No, there hasn't been. We're 1 minute 24 in the lead now. Braga is back out in second place. I say we're heading towards a dry spell. I've just seen another batch of rain coming in from the right. But the race tyre is again the principal preferred tyre, look, because the rain has stopped. Bonnet cam is interesting. Roof cam. It's not for me. So it's just a hole in the rain. The eye of the storm. I don't know what that white light is that's just come in the middle of the dash. Is it fuel warning telling me to pit? It is, it's fuel. It's flashing fuel underneath, so we're pitting this lap. I think we're going to stay on the race tyre. No need to take anything else, I think. Oh, we overshot there, didn't we? Holy pachupla. Dash control cut in, big time. Mr. Fraga's gone to the pits putting on race tyres again. Mr. Portilla's done the same thing. There's a whole line of cars gone in the pits by the looks of it. We're going in now for fuel and tyres. It says 1.1 lap remaining. We could have done another lap. Take the lot. That's quite strange. A great looking livery. Love the colour of the wheels. I love the style of the wheels. They weren't this style of wheel that are going on the car, are they? They are. Comes off, goes on, in with the fuel. 209 in the lead we are. Let's see where we go. And we're out. Just gonna have to see how wet the road is on the way up the hill. It's not a central seated driving position, this. It's drying out. It says 2 minutes 11, which means we're some way on to lapping everybody. Which I'll have done all the lapping without passing anybody on the track. I've done it all in the pits. I can't believe that's the case. It says we're 2:08 ahead of Fraga, which can't quite fathom. I think as he comes round now to the pit stop, it's the 3 cars up there coming round. Fraga's in for his inters. I thought he was on the... Now it's looking ropey coming up, look. Look at the rain radar. It looks like we're going to have to change tyres coming up. I think we'll get one more lap in, but then we're definitely in the world of inters. It looked like both cars heading to the pits there. And there's the end of the rain. I wonder if we can get through this without pitting. If we can get through that dark blue bit and not the green bit, if we carry on in a straight line, there's a chance there that we can miss out the rain. So we're 1 minute 40 ahead of Lopez, who's picked up second place. Fraga's dropped to fourth. Now it's going to get a little bit wet now, so we might have to just be a little bit cautious. I think we're going to struggle in this rain. If only we had been able to hold on for another 2 laps. Pushed by Mr. Yamanaka. Inters are the tyres of choice. We got a nudge from somebody else there, I feel. There he goes off into the... there we go. Oh my. Oh, everybody's off. Lopez, Kookaburra, Fraga, everybody goes for the pits. He just touched the throttle and we're round and round. Back onto the track maybe. There we go, onto the corner. See if we can get into the pits there. That's just trying to risk it. We're gonna have to take a set of inters to... Are we? Can we make it out? Is it worth just putting a set of inters on and dealing with what's coming? Take the fuel and then do 1 tyre stop. Generally don't know what the best choice is here. We've done what we've done. 2 minutes 36 in the lead. We've got time to mess with this process. It's not always the best way to win a race, but rather than keep the race tyres on and keep struggling, we might as well pop in and take another pit stop. We should have fuel to get us to the end now. It's going to be tricky on the way out of here. Cars are evenly spaced around the circuit now. And we got a penalty for crossing that white line. That's a shocker. We can come back to a reasonable sense of what's going on. Back to our usual view. Still night time, the rain has stopped. The track's drying out. Mr. Rubelar's having a better race this time round. We didn't make it round the outside that time. Really looking forward to the custom race at the end of this process. Still haven't decided which car I'm going to use. Whether it's the GT1 that is in the shop now if you want to go and purchase it, folks. It's there to be bought. It's going to be a legend, of course. There's Mr. Rubelar again, who had to slow. It's incredibly wet around here. Enforced penalty. 1 minute 36 in the lead. Lap 15, it looks like we're in the middle of the night. No real threat of dawn as yet. Braking just before the 100 to account for the rain. How's the dry line looking? There's a dry line appearing because we have the primary tyre is now going to be the race tyre on the driving line, but we're just going to get forced wide. And the first signs of dawn approaching. Over the top of the trees there we could see the day, the light of the day coming through. As we shoot to the left, we lost traction there. This lane is not dry yet, is it? We need another lap before that really is ready for the race tyre. Mr. Mendoza, Mr. Ordonez just showing us how it's done with some tail slide. Mr. Mendoza really hanging the rear out. Oh, he just Mr. Ordonez just hung his butt there for us to bop. We bopped his butt for him. That's a fierce dent in the back of that Aston. We didn't do it. That looked like Mr. Rubelar going up the hill in front of us. Track is still tremendously wet. I was looking for the rain map. Nothing on it as far as I can see. Definitely a dry racing line appeared, but it's not particularly dry, although certain places it looks a bit wet, but that's because we're running off the line onto the wet bit. At this moment in time we've got intermediate tyres, so we can run on there. But if we had race tyres on, we would have no chance. Mr. Inestrosa has dropped to 20th. Somebody just went in the pits, looked like Mr. Portilla, I think. On 43 in the lead. Still not 100% ready for the race tyre, so these intermediates are the one for now. Although the rears seem to be cooking. Brake balance is all the way to the front, yet the rears are dying. The daylight seems to be out now. The long shadows of the morning, though, are still covering the track, preventing the tarmac from drying out. I gotta stop saying doesn't sound very professional, does it? Gotta think about the rest of the sentence before the first part of the sentence comes out my mouth. Oh, as we stray off to the right hand side, never good. Less than 20 minutes remaining of the race. 2/3 of the way through, so 16 hours in. Mr. Fraga goes to the pits to try and release those inters and go to a dry tyre. Mrs. McEwen is also in. I was racing them. We're not far off wanting to go and change tyres, to be honest, but we've got rain now coming in from the right hand side, so we can make the choice when we're ready. See if we can extend the life of these tyres somewhat by giving them the wet part of the track to run on. Might as well cool them down, stop them overheating. Mr. Gallo just letting the back end drift a little. Mr. Grady doing the same. Oh. Mr. Cookabun coming off the inters. It looks like the right choice because that rain bank doesn't look to be tremendously tremendously bad. Ooh. We're all going in. Mr. Grady slid to a stop in front of us. We're gonna take the racing hards. We're not gonna take any fuel. 7 laps. I think we need. I think we need a lap of fuel. Bastard my drink. The rehydrate. I think if we take 9 laps of fuel, that'll get us where we need to be. There we go. It's definitely 18 minutes, so that's more than enough. Mr. Grady just slipped out of the pits in front of us there. Somebody's coming up behind us as we hit a wet patch. Now we've got to stick to the dry line, but we've got damage. Mr. Gallo. Keep on the brakes long and late. Trying to keep us to that dry line. All the way to the end, no stop if we can now. This rain doesn't look to be like it's going to have much effect. We just want this line to keep on getting drier and drier. Little bit of the tap door on the back end of Grady there gave us front wing damage again, which isn't brilliant. Both McEwen and Fraga go to the pits. Just Lopez and Cook a bunch of chase down. Wet on that curb, just I thought I'd let you know. Don't know what told me. Drops alive, that was a bit of action for us. Just got to watch those curbs. as that rain band now passes over. We are could be 12 minutes of absolute pleasure. Fast and hard laps, lower fuel than we had earlier. Good tyres. See if we can really start to put in some decent lappage. And away we go. Bit of a wheel spin there as we were running through. So both Kokoban and Lopez both go to the pits, choosing to take the inters, maybe changing off the inters a little later than we chose to. A very distinct dry line now appearing on the track. Mr. Solis coming out of the pit lane. We didn't remember what happened last time, did we? So Lopez, Kokoban, Portilla all in the pits. Kawakami moves out the way for the blue flag. Very much kindly, young gentleman, sir. The rain has now pushed off to the top left-hand corner, the northwest quadrant. It's pushing away there as we come round on the back of Mr. Beauvoir. He's not having any of it, is he? As we come through there quite quickly, he gives us a tap, which straightens us up. He's most disgruntled. Not a happy bunny. Not a happy Beauvoir. It is Easter though, my friend, so just chill. Twice we've done that. (7 minutes 44). remaining of the race, which is probably just under 2 hours. Probably more like 3 hours, to be honest. 3 laps. For all the incidents we had in the rain here, this is going to make this a 25 lap car, which doesn't make it one of the top fast boys, but its individual fastest lap at 2:12.238 makes it pretty decent. It's fairly stable. It suffers from a bit of push on the exit of corners. And there's Mr. Bishop. Did he go to the pits? Did he carry on? I think Mr. Bishop went in. The racing line is definitely there. As we come charging down the hill. The full day sun is now beating down on the track. We're passing lunchtime. Just under 6 minutes remaining. Oh, we just run wide there as I tried not to brake. We get a little penalty for that. Well, we're still not running the perfect laps, look. 2:18s. Coming down to 2:15. The track is still affected by the wet, very much, definitely. 4 minutes remaining. Don't believe we're going to get the opportunity to run the 26. Have to be some knockout laps. Look how wet it is down here, look. It's still really quite wet. On the full part of the track. Wet curb. Mr. Rubilar just hanging in 12th place. Happy not to be last like yesterday. Mr. Rubilar just taking a bit more of the track. Trying to carry a bit more speed than we should have done. That half a second is just a little lift. If you look, we're going to be probably 10 seconds short of being able to get onto that lap 26. Yeah, there you go. The difference is 10 seconds. Would have to be an absolutely knockout. 2:04, 2:03 lap time. The rain hasn't really dried out yet. Try and keep it in the dry line. Braking just before the 100 as we put in. Purple sector 1. Three laps of fuel remaining. Don't know if we've lapped everybody yet. Believe we should have. This is definitely the final lap, which draws to the conclusion of the GR1 class cars. That's the GR1 prototypes, the historic GR1s. And now we're going to move on to the GT2s. We're still purple, which is absolutely awesome. Let's see if we can improve on that around Yamanaka. Flying round there. See if we can get fastest lap on the final lap of the race. The timer has now finished, so we're going to be consigned to 25 laps. A 2:11 to finish. It looked like a 2:11.758. There we go. Absolutely stunning car. Stunning livery, telling us everything we want to know. 1 hour and 8 seconds that everybody was a lap down, Cookerman onwards. Only 2 laps down. Mr. Wilk dragging up the rear. Mr. Bishop has made his way up to 16th place. Mr. Portilla did... Oh, Mr. Rubbelard gained 1 place over Mr. Portilla. Fastest lap of the race was ours, which was a 2:11.773 on lap 25. Did we generate that 1.5 million credits? Yes, we did, with the clean race bonus. Knocking us up to 8.1. Happy days. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings about today's 4-star ticket. Well, thank you very much for joining us. That is the end of the Spa grind with the GR1 class cars. We're off to GR2 next week, as we said. And we'll see you there. All the best, folks. Take care. Goodbye for now.